Welcome to the Noble Path. In the timeless words of the Buddha, respect is for those who deserve it, not for those who demand it. With this profound insight as our guiding light, let's embark on a journey into the fascinating world of respect through the lens of Buddhist wisdom. Imagine for a moment a bustling marketplace, alive with the chatter and motion of individuals from all walks of life. Amidst this lively scene stands the Buddha, radiating a calm and compassionate presence that naturally draws people toward him. But this brings us to a question worth pondering deeply. What exactly is respect? Is respect merely a polite gesture toward authority figures or elders? Or does its meaning reach beyond common manners, rooted instead in empathy and understanding? In Buddhism, respect is far more than surface-level politeness. It is a foundational principle for peaceful coexistence, a cornerstone upon which harmonious living is built. Without respect, connections with others falter and communities weaken. As we embark further along this path, we begin to uncover how this virtue holds a central place in the Buddhist way of life. Respect in Buddhism invites us to go beyond social norms and into an ethical practice centered on empathy, kindness, and understanding. These qualities stem from the acknowledgement of life's interconnectedness, recognizing that every action impacts not only ourselves, but also the broader fabric of existence. However, the path to embodying respect is layered with challenges. Along the way, there are warning signs, pitfalls, and behaviors capable of chipping away at mutual regard. From dishonesty to arrogance, these attitudes steer us away from living a life of goodness and compassion. Yet, just as a lotus blooms beautiful and unblemished from the murkiest of ponds, there is hope for renewal. By nurturing virtues such as empathy, honesty, and humility, we can illuminate life with the light of respect, enriching our relationships and the world around us. Indeed, as the teachings remind us, every person is deserving of respect, provided they align with the principles of truth and kindness rather than embodying traits that harm or demean others. Let's travel deeper into this subject of respect in Buddhism. Central to the Buddhist perspective is the view that respect extends beyond cultural customs or social hierarchies. It involves a profound recognition of humanity's shared dignity. It compels us to treat all beings with kindness, not just fellow humans, but all forms of life. In doing so, we honor the interconnectedness that lies at the heart of Buddhist teachings. Foundational to this understanding are three qualities: compassion, understanding, and empathy. Compassion inspires us to feel and ease the suffering of others. Understanding allows us to see the unique worth and dignity of every individual, despite differences. Empathy, in turn, lets us share emotions and experiences, fostering deep, genuine connections. If we explore further, respect is not something to be demanded or coerced. Instead, it must be earned through actions and character. Buddhism offers the wisdom that every action, whether good or bad, creates waves in the sea of karma, affecting not only ourselves, but also the broader world. This interconnectedness calls us to act with virtue and deliberation, lest we perpetuate cycles of harm and negativity. Even when wronged, holding on to resentment ultimately serves no one. Buddhism instead encourages us to embrace forgiveness, a powerful act of self-liberation. In releasing resentment, we free ourselves from cycles of negativity and open our hearts to greater love, joy, and harmony. This mindset isn't necessarily easy. Forgiving, particularly in the face of deep hurt or betrayal, requires patience, compassion, and significant self-reflection. It may not happen instantaneously, but rather unfold over time as we cultivate understanding for both others' deeds and ourselves. Yet, through forgiveness and letting go, we break free from the weight of the past. The Buddha reminds us, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. In practicing forgiveness, we step closer to a life of peace and harmony. It is a gentle, transformative process that heals wounds and fosters deeper connections grounded in respect and compassion. Let us take these teachings as a guide. May we approach the challenges of life through the lens of respect, always striving for empathy, understanding, and forgiveness. As we tread gently on this journey, let the words of the Buddha illuminate our path, inviting us to live honorably and with kindness. Every action, whether positive or negative, carries consequences. Holding on to resentment perpetuates negative karma. By forgiving others, individuals can break the cycle of negative karma and create the conditions for greater peace and happiness in their lives. It's important to acknowledge that forgiveness in Buddhism is not a simple or immediate process, especially in case of deep betrayal or trauma. Forgiveness requires patience, compassion, and self-reflection. Often, it unfolds gradually over time, as individuals cultivate greater understanding and kindness toward both themselves and others. Ultimately, practicing forgiveness in Buddhism is seen as a profound act of self-liberation. By letting go of resentment and embracing forgiveness, individuals free themselves from the heavy burdens of the past and welcome in greater love, joy, and compassion. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule, the Buddha wisely said. Through forgiveness, we can break free from the cycles of suffering that bind us and instead cultivate lives of peace and harmony. Forgiveness is a powerful cornerstone of living with intention, a concept deeply emphasized in Buddhist teachings. To live with intention is to consciously direct our thoughts, words, and actions toward what truly matters to us. Guided by our values and aspirations, this approach aligns our everyday decisions with our higher purpose, helping us navigate life with meaning and authenticity. At the heart of living with intention is the understanding of impermanence and the preciousness of life. In the Buddhist perspective, life is fleeting and uncertain, making it all the more vital to make purposeful use of every moment. Each day provides an opportunity to live in alignment with what brings fulfillment and harmony to our existence. A crucial step in living with intention is clarifying our personal values and priorities. This means reflecting deeply. What truly matters to us? What brings us the most joy, meaning, and fulfillment? What do we aspire to accomplish? By gaining clarity in these areas, we empower ourselves to make decisions that align with our authentic selves and deepest aspirations. This effort leads to a life filled not only with purpose, but also with a richer sense of satisfaction. In practical terms, living with intention often involves setting goals that reflect our vision for life, goals that are measurable, meaningful, and specific. These goals may span various areas, such as relationships, careers, personal growth, or health. However, Buddhist wisdom also emphasizes another, equally important practice: mindfulness in daily activities. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the here and now, attending to our thoughts, emotions, and actions without passing judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, we heighten our awareness of our intentions and gain the ability to make conscious decisions that resonate with our core values and aspirations. Living with intention also entails taking full responsibility for our choices and actions. Instead of blaming external factors or people for our circumstances, we cultivate accountability and resilience, empowering ourselves to effect positive change. Recognizing that we hold the power to shape our life's direction through the force of our will and intentions makes this practice transformative. Additionally, another essential component is gratitude. Living with intention encourages us to pause and savor the richness of the present moment. Rather than constantly striving for future achievements or dwelling on past regrets, we learn to appreciate the blessings and beauty in our current experiences. Gratitude not only brings peace, but also helps us anchor ourselves in a deeper sense of connectedness and joy. In Buddhism, living with intention represents living consciously or authentically and purposefully. It's about structuring our lives in alignment with our values, embracing every moment with mindfulness, and cultivating gratitude for what is. By living this way, we unlock a fulfilling life that reflects the harmony between our internal and external worlds. This foundation prepares us to explore another key virtue in Buddhism: generosity. Generosity is more than an act of giving. It's a potent expression of compassion and interconnectedness. The practice of generosity, or dana, involves giving selflessly, without expecting recognition or reward. It's about opening our hearts and building connections with others through kindness and selflessness. Importantly, generosity in Buddhism is not confined to material possessions. It includes intangible offerings such as time, attention, empathy, and even forgiveness. The Buddha himself was a model of boundless generosity, sharing his teachings, time, and wisdom freely with all who sought his guidance. His example reminds us of the transformative power of giving. Generosity has the capacity to cultivate positive qualities such as joy, kindness, and deep empathy, not only in the giver, but also in the receiver. This is where generosity intersects with the greater goal of compassion, enriching lives and strengthening bonds among individuals and communities. As we continue on this journey, we will dive deeper into this beautiful practice and understand its significance in creating a balanced, meaningful, and compassionate life. Generosity is one of the most celebrated virtues in Buddhism, rooted deeply in principles of compassion and interconnectedness. It offers a powerful way to cultivate qualities like kindness, joy, and a sense of liberation. Generosity, or dana, is the practice of giving freely and selflessly without expecting anything in return. It isn't limited to material giving, but extends to offering time, attention, skills, and even forgiveness. It's a process of opening our hearts and connecting with others on a profoundly humane level. The Buddha himself exemplified generosity in its purest form. Throughout his life, he gave freely of his teachings, time, and presence to those who sought his guidance. He also often spoke about the powerful joy that arises from giving, stating, "Generosity brings happiness at every stage of its expression. When forming the intention to give, in the act of giving, and in remembering the impact of your gift." These teachings remind us that generosity is much more than a transaction. It's a mindset, a way of engaging with the world that brings fulfillment to both the giver and receiver. Developing a generous mindset involves actively seeking opportunities to practice giving, both in grand and subtle ways. Acts of charity like donating to those in need or volunteering for community causes are powerful examples. Yet, the beauty of generosity lies in its simplicity. Even small gestures, such as offering kind words, a smile, or help during someone's moment of need, can ripple out profoundly. Every act of generosity strengthens our connection to others and deepens our sense of joy and contentment. Practicing generosity also calls us to release attachments and face the obstacles of selfishness or a scarcity mindset. Often, we cling to what we have out of fear that we lack enough. But Buddhism challenges this thought process. By letting go, we embrace the abundance surrounding us. This shift not only breaks the cycle of craving and dissatisfaction, but also frees us to experience a deeper level of fulfillment. Through the cultivation of this practice, individuals can find liberation from endless desires and immerse themselves in contentment. One specific Buddhist practice of generosity, known as dana, focuses on giving generously to support spiritual teachings and community. Dana is regarded as a fundamental virtue that purifies the mind and nurtures wholesome qualities. Supporting monasteries, teachers, and spiritual communities through gifts and resources is one well-known example of this practice. Yet even beyond formal settings, Dana's essence lies in embodying a spirit of generosity in all actions. By practicing dana, a person not only benefits the receiver of their gift, but also enriches their inner life, creating space for personal growth and balance. Gratitude is another key element in cultivating generosity. Recognizing and appreciating the gifts we've received from others fosters an immense sense of humility. This gratitude inspires us to extend the same kindness to those around us. Acknowledging the interconnected web of care and support we benefit from daily reminds us that we are never isolated in our journeys. From this foundation, true generosity arises naturally, not out of obligation, but out of a heartfelt desire to give back. At its core, generosity is about cultivating a compassionate and kind heart. It's a practice that reverberates far beyond the giver and receiver, contributing to the creation of a more harmonious and compassionate world. By embodying generosity, we not only enhance the lives of others, but also unlock in ourselves the capacity for joy and inner freedom. This practice sets the stage for our next crucial Buddhist virtue, self-reflection. Self-reflection is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice and a profound tool for personal transformation. It involves turning inward with honesty and mindfulness to examine our thoughts, emotions, and actions with curiosity and understanding. At its heart, self-reflection encourages us to confront the impermanent and interconnected nature of reality. Through regular introspection, we tune into the transient nature of our experiences, thoughts, and feelings, developing greater clarity and self-awareness. Over time, this leads us to deeper wisdom and the ability to navigate challenges with equanimity. Self-reflection often begins and deepens through meditation. During meditation, we cultivate mindfulness by observing the mind without judgment, simply noticing what arises and allowing it to pass. This process helps us detach from reactive tendencies and habitual patterns, opening the door to insight. As we practice, we discover that attachments to preferences, outcomes, and desires often contribute to unnecessary suffering. Letting go of these attachments becomes an act of liberation, allowing us to find peace in life's uncertainties. More than a solitary practice, self-reflection also serves as a bridge for empathy and compassion toward others. By examining our own struggles, fears, and joys, we recognize that these experiences are shared by all humanity. This recognition dissolves barriers of ego and self-focus, replacing them with genuine compassion. Self-reflection deepens our understanding of interconnectedness, inviting us to act with care and understanding in every interaction. Ultimately, the practice of self-reflection in Buddhism brings us closer to liberation. With patience and regular practice, we begin to see ourselves and the world more clearly. We align with reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. And this truth becomes a source of strength. Self-reflection teaches us how to navigate the ever-changing currents of life with grace, wisdom, and compassion. A transformative step toward living in harmony with ourselves and others. Self-reflection naturally flows into another transformative Buddhist practice: cultivating equanimity. Equanimity is the ability to maintain a calm and balanced mind amidst life's highs and lows. It involves recognizing the impermanent nature of all experiences and fostering a sense of neutrality toward outcomes, neither clinging to successes nor being consumed by failures. This virtue is rooted in the understanding of interconnectedness and impermanence, which are central to Buddhist teachings. By observing the ever-changing nature of our emotions, thoughts, and conditions, we learn to navigate life with greater stability and wisdom. A powerful tool for fostering equanimity is meditation. Meditation creates a space for quiet self-reflection and inner calm, enabling us to observe our minds without judgment. Through regular practice, we train ourselves to remain steady and composed in the face of life's adversities. For example, when challenges arise, instead of reacting impulsively, we can pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. This process not only cultivates resilience, but also fosters deeper compassion and understanding for ourselves and others. A calm and balanced mind, when nurtured through equanimity, becomes an anchor that allows us to face the storms of life with grace and clarity. Equanimity also involves letting go of attachments to specific outcomes or preferences. Often, our suffering arises from an inability to let go of how we think life should be. By practicing acceptance, we learn to embrace life as it is, rather than resisting or clinging to fleeting moments. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity. Rather, it's an active process of engaging with life from a place of mindfulness and presence. With equanimity, we can hold space for both joy and sorrow with equal steadiness, creating an inner balance that guides us through life's unpredictable journey. Another quality deeply connected to equanimity is patience, an essential Buddhist virtue that helps us meet challenges with composure and grace. Patience is much more than simply waiting without complaint. It is a practice of allowing life to unfold on its own timetable. In Buddhism, patience is grounded in the recognition of impermanence and the law of karma, the understanding that all things are transient and that every action has consequences. By accepting the transient nature of reality and the web of causes and conditions influencing events, we cultivate patience as we face life's inevitable delays, difficulties, and provocations. One of the key benefits of practicing patience is the cultivation of inner peace. Patience allows us to maintain a sense of calm and equanimity, even when confronted with frustration or adversity. For example, Whether we're facing a long line, a difficult conversation, or a significant life challenge, patience helps us respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This inner composure provides a solid foundation for making wise and compassionate choices, ensuring that our actions are aligned with our values and aspirations. To cultivate patience, mindfulness plays a critical role. By being fully present and aware of our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations, we can observe the arising and passing of frustration or impatience without being swept away by them. Mindful awareness creates space between the stimulus and our response, allowing us to pause, reflect, and choose a deliberate course of action. For instance, when anger or impatience flares, mindfulness reminds us to step back and observe rather than react, fostering greater resilience and self-discipline. Another aspect of cultivating patience is the acceptance of reality as it unfolds. This means surrendering attachments to specific outcomes or expectations. Life rarely follows a predetermined script, and clinging to how we think things should be can be a source of unnecessary suffering. Patience encourages us to release this attachment, freeing us from cycles of craving and aversion. In doing so, we find peace in uncertainty and develop the flexibility to embrace life's changes with an open heart. Compassion and understanding further enrich the practice of patience. By recognizing the shared humanity of others, we become more empathetic toward their struggles, even when they test our patience. This understanding helps dissolve the barriers between self and other, fostering greater harmony in our relationships. For example, when someone acts unkindly, patience encouraged us to see beyond the action and recognize the challenges that person may be facing. This perspective not only deepens our compassion, but also strengthens our ability to respond with kindness rather than frustration. Ultimately, patience is a practice of liberation. It frees us from the constraints of reactivity and allows us to face life's uncertainties with courage and wisdom. By cultivating patience and equanimity, we align ourselves more closely with the Buddhist path, creating space for greater peace, understanding, and fulfillment in every moment. These practices remind us that amidst life's trials, it is possible to navigate with clarity and love, leaving a ripple effect of positivity for ourselves and others. The Buddhist practice of patience naturally links to another deeply transformative teaching, the letting go of ego. This essential principle emphasizes the importance of transcending the illusion of a fixed and separate self. According to Buddhism, the ego is deeply tied to the root of suffering. It fosters attachment, aversion, and a distorted perception of reality, often clouding our understanding of the world and ourselves. Letting go of the ego involves recognizing the impermanent, interconnected nature of all phenomena and shedding the false belief in a permanent, unchanging self. The Buddha taught that the self as we perceive it is not a fixed or solid identity, but instead a construct of the mind, a temporary collection of thoughts, emotions, and experiences. By clinging to our ego, we trap ourselves in cycles of craving and aversion, endlessly striving for fleeting forms of validation or security. However, when we release this attachment to the self, we experience true liberation. This liberation is marked by freedom from the constant need to protect or reinforce our identity, leading to a more peaceful and harmonious way of being. One of the most profound results of letting go of ego is the cultivation of humility and openness. The ego often fosters pride, arrogance, and an exaggerated sense of self-importance, creating barriers that impede genuine connection. For instance, it may prompt us to defend or assert our opinions in ways that alienate others. By softening the ego's grip, we open ourselves up to seeing the world through the perspectives of others, fostering deeper understanding and connection. Humility allows us to approach relationships and challenges with an open heart, appreciating the value of others' experiences and insights without the need to center our own. Letting go of the ego also involves self-awareness and introspection. By examining our thoughts, emotions, and actions with mindfulness, we can observe how the ego manifests in daily life. This often reveals subtle tendencies to protect, compare, or elevate ourselves above others, patterns that may otherwise go unnoticed. With mindful awareness, we can begin to loosen the ego's hold, creating more space for clarity, insight, and intentional actions. For example, in moments of tension or criticism, mindfulness allows us to notice defensive reactions as they arise and respond with understanding rather than reactivity. Compassion naturally stems from letting go of ego as well. By recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings, we begin to understand that everyone is navigating their own challenges and suffering. The boundaries created by the ego, me versus them, dissolve, allowing a sense of shared humanity to emerge. With this perspective, we can extend empathy even to those who test our patience or challenge our sense of self. A mind free of ego is better equipped to approach others with kindness and acceptance, fostering deeper harmony in relationships and communities. Meditation plays a vital role in the process of letting go of ego. Within the quiet stillness of meditation, we can begin to observe the movements of the mind without judgment. This practice allows us to see thoughts such as "I need," "I deserve," or "I am better" as transient mental constructs rather than permanent truths. By consistently returning to a place of non-judgmental observation, meditation cultivates detachment from the ego's influence, encouraging us to rest in a deeper sense of peace and liberation. Over time, this detachment transcends meditation and becomes a guiding principle in daily life. Living without the constraints of ego does not mean abandoning personal growth or identity. Rather, it means freeing ourselves from the mental constructs that limit our ability to connect, grow, and experience life as it is. The liberation found in letting go of ego is transformative, offering clarity, compassion, and profound inner freedom. It allows us to navigate challenges without constant resistance or defensiveness, fostering a more harmonious relationship with both ourselves and the world. As we practice releasing ego, we create space for qualities like humility, empathy, and wisdom to flourish. By embracing this transformative path, we align more closely with the central values of Buddhism, unlocking new layers of peace and fulfillment in our lives. This journey is deeply personal, yet universally shared, each step bringing us closer to the interconnected and compassionate nature of existence, as described in the teachings of the Buddha. Ultimately, letting go of ego illuminates our path, guiding us toward a life of genuine connection, freedom from suffering, and enduring harmony. As we let go of ego, we naturally move toward practices that affirm and strengthen the principles of respect and dignity for ourselves and others. In Buddhism, respect is not a passive quality, but an active practice that grows out of clarity, compassion, and self-awareness. By recognizing our shared humanity and interconnectedness, we foster harmony in our relationships and communities, creating a foundation on which respect can thrive. A vital step in this journey is speaking out against injustice. When we advocate for fairness and equality, we send a powerful message. Respect is not a privilege reserved for the few, but a right that every individual is entitled to, regardless of race, gender, or social status. This act of standing up against injustice is akin to shining a beacon of hope in the darkness. It illuminates a path toward a more just and equitable society, reminding us all of the shared responsibilities that come with living in harmony. Standing up for justice also fosters unity and solidarity among those who share this commitment. Picture people from different walks of life joining hands to build a bridge across a raging river. Although their backgrounds and experiences may differ, their shared purpose strengthens their resolve and resilience in the face of adversity. Through collective action, the principles of fairness and equality take root and flourish, demonstrating the power of community in overcoming significant challenges. Injustice undermines the foundations of respect and dignity. By opposing it with unwavering resolve, we affirm our commitment to the rights of all individuals, paving the way for respect to become universal and unconditional. Through this collective effort, we build a world where the human worth of every individual is acknowledged and upheld, ensuring that no one is excluded from the circle of respect. Equally important is the balance between respecting yourself and respecting others. Imagine tending to a delicate garden, where the health and growth of each flower depend on consistent care and nourishment. This metaphor beautifully illustrates the interconnected nature of self-respect and the respect we extend to others. These two aspects are intricately woven together, forming the fabric of harmonious relationships as well as personal well-being. Self-respect is the foundation upon which all other forms of respect are built. It begins with recognizing your own worth and treating yourself with kindness and compassion. When you honor yourself, you set a powerful precedent for how others should treat you. Conversely, when self-respect is lacking, it becomes difficult to command genuine respect from others. This can lead to a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity, further compounding the challenges of building strong, respectful connections. Respect for others is equally significant. It encompasses more than politeness or superficial gestures. It is a profound acknowledgement of their inherent worth and dignity as human beings. When we approach others with kindness, empathy, and understanding, we affirm their value and contribute to the collective work of building a compassionate and respectful society. These actions create a ripple effect, enhancing the wider tapestry of human connection. To cultivate respect, mindfulness and compassion are key. Being present and empathetic in our interactions allows us to set boundaries and foster environments of mutual care and understanding. Healthy boundaries are an extension of self-respect, ensuring that we honor both our own needs and those of others. They help maintain balance in relationships and create a safe space for positive exchanges to thrive. Reflecting on the interconnectedness of self-respect and respect for others reveals the delicate balance required in nurturing both. These practices are not only mutually reinforcing, but also essential for personal and collective well-being. Each act of respect, whether shown inwardly or outwardly, creates a ripple that extends into the world, contributing to the greater good. As we have explored throughout this journey with the Noble Path, respect is not something handed out freely or demanded. It's earned through virtuous conduct, mindfulness, and kind intentional interactions. The Buddhist teachings remind us that respect begins with recognizing our interconnectedness, practicing compassion, and setting meaningful, loving boundaries that honor our shared humanity. So as you move forward, consider how you cultivate these qualities in your daily life. Respect is both a personal practice and a gift we give to others through our mindful actions. Let this lesson stay with you as a reminder of the power and profound impact of living with respect for yourself and for those around you. Thank you for staying with us on this incredible journey through the teachings of respect and mindfulness. As we've explored together, respect is not simply a virtue. It's a way of life that flows from our actions, attitudes, and values. By practicing self-respect, compassion, and mindful interactions, we become active participants in creating a more harmonious and compassionate world. Now, we want to hear from you, our cherished community here on the Noble Path. How do you cultivate respect in your own life? What challenges have you faced in fostering respectful relationships? Your thoughts and experiences matter, and by sharing them in the comments below, you have the power to inspire others on their journey toward personal growth and mindfulness. Together, our collective wisdom can encourage deeper understanding and connection. If you enjoyed this video and found value in the insights shared, be sure to hit the subscribe button and join us here at The Noble Path for more content inspired by the timeless teachings of Buddhism. Let's continue to walk this noble journey together, exploring personal growth, mindfulness, and the path to an enlightened life. And remember, respect is more than just a practice. It's an essential way of being that enriches every aspect of our lives. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.